Hello, scanner members. It's Jared here. Happy to see you guys all. Hopefully, everyone's had a good week. We've got some trades. We're sitting in some stuff. Let's talk a little bit about what is going on here. Okay, so as of right this moment, if you look over here, you'll see that here's our scanner group chat right there. Here is the scanner group alerts, right? So the scanner group alerts is going to have all of our current and existing trades and so on. You can see that we've recently closed some nice little trades here. Everything's been pretty good there. Happy to have all that happen. That's always nice. Our one running trade that we have right now is the Aussie CAD. We've got some more trades coming, but let's talk about this Aussie CAD for just a second here. The Aussie CAD, we got into this one just about current price. You can see in one of these, if we scroll back just a little bit here, it's right before the couple of videos there. We got into the Aussie CAD at 91.80. You can see that right there. You got to go back a couple of days there. But we got into that Aussie CAD at 91.80, and it's been kind of slowly just cruising along. It's not doing a whole lot right now. So we bought at 91.80, and you can see that it's been just doing this, right? Aussie CAD's been going like this, going like this, going like this, not really going anywhere. So what we're going to do with this, we got into this trade initially because we had a nice little bar count on the hourly chart, right? So we had a good bar count, plus we were coming up against major 10-year support. So with lots of great targets, so we thought, well, that sounds like a good opportunity to get into the pair. So we did, and it's just kind of been, it's been kind of slow and steady, not really doing a whole bunch. Here's what I want to do on the Aussie CAD. Even though the 200 exponential moving average has been hit, we still have targets that have not been hit. So pivot point, pivot point, pivot point, and more, and more, and more back here. These are all great levels and great areas. So we're very optimistic about getting this to make a hopefully a 100 pip run for us. If you have not gotten into the Aussie CAD yet, remember our official entry was 91.80, and here it is at 91.78. Get in at market. Just get in right now. Here's something important to remember. You've got to stay nimble. We're going to give this trade room for probably 100 pips worth of drawdown. So if you're new with us, you're just joining us for the first time, you want to get into this first position smaller than you normally would, because if this goes against us 40, 50, 60, 100 pips, we don't want to be worried about it. That's part of our strategy, right, is scaling into these positions. So we start our first position small, and we take our next position a little bit bigger. Let's say, for example, this Aussie CAD at 91.80 goes against us, and we see this run down to 9100. Some of you that may not be used to this strategy might be thinking, holy smokes, we're down 80 pips. For those of you that are used to this strategy, you're saying, I'm so excited that we're down 80 pips because we get to add a second larger position, and this thing's going to work out for us. Keep in mind, this group is just less than a year old, and we've taken 0 losses in the group so far. So just trust me on the strategy, but it's very important that you start small and you increase the trade size on the additional position. So our first trade is small, our next one's a little bit bigger, and then we may even take a third trade, which would be even bigger. So make sure you position yourself correctly for that. If you're new in the group, start very small and just do a couple of trades with us at very, very small trade sizes to get a feel for how we do everything. Okay, so Aussie CAD's looking good right here. If it dips down to 9100, we'll add again and buy again. Here's something that I don't normally do too much is add to trades in profit, but if this breaks above 9200, we'll buy above there. So we'll be ready for that. So I want to get at least 2 positions here, and I think we have a very, very good opportunity to get up into this 93.25 to 93 kind of 50 area. That's kind of the minimum that I'm going for. So, this will be nice to get, nice 150-ish pips out of this, give or take. So should be a great little trade for us. So we're in Aussie CAD. Buy this thing if you're not in it. It's right at our entry. And then again, be prepared for 100 pips of drawdown potentially, because we're looking for a bigger move there. So that is our one current trade right now. This is the scanner. So remember, the scanner will encompass the 15-minute setups and then the setups on all the other charts as well. So the scanner's telling us, on the 4-hour chart, I always like to kind of peek at this one. The 4-hour chart's got some stuff happening, but the 4-hour, the big 4-hour setups are on pound pairs. We're looking for 250 bars. We've got 204, 211. They're all on pound pairs. 230 pound pair, 217 pound pair. Don't trade pound pairs. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. Hourly chart, we don't have anything too great on the hourly chart yet. So we're looking for 400 bars on the hourly chart. Everything's in kind of the mid 100s to high 100s and lower. 30-minute chart, starting to get a little bit interesting here. On the 30-minute chart, we've got the Aussie dollar, 311. We're looking for 400 bars, so this could be at a nice little 400 bar count pretty soon. Dollar CAD, 340. Now, we've got a strong dollar push going on right now, so we don't want to trade too much against that, but dollar CAD's been running down pretty hard, and the Aussie dollar's been running up pretty hard. So if you look at this right here, let's look at the Aussie dollar here. So again, this is a 30-minute chart, and it's saying it has not touched the 200 moving average in a while. Now, what do we want to see when we take a trade like this? We have a nice little channel here. We've got a missed daily pivot, a missed weekly pivot, another missed daily pivot right here. There we go. And so these are all lower targets that we are looking for the market to come down and hit, right? So as this bar count gets higher and these targets get more interesting, this makes for a great trade. Now, the three elements that we need is high bar count. We're getting there. We've almost got it on this 30-minute chart. We need great targets. We've got that. And we need strong levels to trade against. So we've got that bar count in the works. We've got great targets to trade towards. Strong level to trade against. That's the doozy that we're looking for right here. Aussie dollar's got a nice, nice little support zone. 7,000 is that's a good spot, right? 7,000 is a good spot, and you can see that we've got right about that 7,000 level. We've got a little bit of a triple top here. Some of this pretty good resistance. So, is this going to be enough to take the trade? That's the question, right? That's a nice little level to trade against. I would like to see a little bit of a higher bar count before jumping into this. So I think this trade could work. I'm not putting an order on it yet. Again, for those that are new in the group, I will put very specific entries and very specific exits. And I'm not putting an order on this one yet. If this breaks above here and kind of continues that bar count, we'll look for a little recovery trade. We'll trade probably, a trend line break, something like that, right? But for now, we're just kind of staying the course. We'll let this thing play out just a little bit. And we'll see where this goes. So you can see, there's this little channel right here, and that may be what we need to, get that short-term entry on this Aussie dollar. So it's a nice little short-term channel, and a breakout as it hits this support, a little breakout could give us, some short-term pips, right? 60, 40, 50, 60 pips somewhere in there. Trade it from the 7,000 area down, to this spot. That's only about 25 pips to that first daily pivot. But if this makes a little bit of a bigger run down to this next daily pivot, that's now like 60, 70 pips. So I'm not ready to trade against this one yet. Just know this is the setup. This is the kind of thing that we're looking for. There's a lot of Aussie strength, a lot of dollar weakness, so we don't want to jump on this one just yet because the bar count's not there yet. But we do have an interesting level to trade against. We do have some targets, but that bar count needs to improve just a hair for us. And if we get a breakout, then we might throw kind of almost like a market order on this one and see how it goes. So Aussie dollar's on the radar, and dollar CAD is on the radar as well. Dollar CAD is at this kind of major area here. Here's our dollar CAD, and again, we're looking at a pretty decent 30-minute bar count. Hasn't touched that in a little while. It's at about 340, I think. Let's double check that. So you can see that, we're right about 340, 341. We have some great targets. There's a market imbalance up here. There's a daily pivot, daily pivot, daily pivot. So there's some good levels to be trading towards on this dollar CAD. But again, we've got CAD, a pretty good amount of CAD strength and a pretty good amount of dollar weakness, which is why this is running down. So look where this dollar CAD is right this moment. nice little double bottom here. This isn't a major level, but this is a double bottom from the start of the year, January this year, and then here we are. So kind of a big double bottom. This is a nice little range to be trading against. We've got some good upper targets. I like the dollar CAD, and I will trade a buy trade, a breakout trade here on this one, and just see if we can get, here we are sitting at about 130.85, and I think we can get above, get to around this daily pivot. This big market imbalance all the way up here at 133.35 is probably too far away for this movement, but I think we should be able to get anywhere from 50 to 75 pips out of this trade. So again, dollar CAD and Aussie dollar in the same kind of situations. The Aussie is strong, the Canadian dollar is strong. The US dollar is weak against both of these. They're coming up against nice levels. They've got good targets to trade towards, but the bar counts aren't quite there yet. So we're going to be very patient. We're going to wait for them, and we may end up taking a little bit more of an aggressive, shorter-term kind of breakout trade to get into these and trade them towards those targets. We're looking for anywhere from, 50 to 75 pips on each of these trades. I will place specific pending orders with specific details, and just your only job is just keep an eye on the alerts area and watch these setups, and we'll see where they go. Remember, these levels could break. We could see the dollar CAD push lower. We could see the Aussie dollar push higher. That's why we're not in them yet. I will place pending orders with very specific entries when it is time, which will probably be going more into Sunday night, Monday morning. But I'll watch things as they go throughout the day today. Okay, guys, that's what we're looking for there. We've got all that set up. The 15-minute chart is getting interesting. We have all these 240s and 50s, which is very interesting. We need 400 bars on the 15-minute chart. So a lot of 15-minute trades are coming up. New Zealand yen, New Zealand dollar, dollar CAD, Euro New Zealand, yikes, pound New Zealand, yikes. But 15-minute trades galore are starting to happen. So we'll have tons of those next week. And then there's a few little 5 minutes that are kind of starting to think about peaking up, but there's not much right this moment. But we'll see that 5-minute chart bar count start to improve. So 15-minute charts are coming, 30-minute chart trade setups are coming. And then we'll keep an eye on that 4 hour as well. We've got some great setups and some great things happening. Thanks a bunch, everybody. Hopefully that's clear. If you have any questions, any comments, don't hesitate to let me know. I'm happy to help.